What makes a good leader, Jim Rohn? Asterisk introduction. Leadership has long been a subject of fascination, debate, and study. From ancient philosophers like Plato to modern management theorists, thinkers have explored what distinguishes an ordinary manager from one who can inspire, galvanize, and transform organizations and individuals. Among these thought leaders stands Jim Rohn, whose teachings on personal development, philosophy of success, and leadership continue to influence entrepreneurs, executives, and aspiring leaders around the globe in his characteristic blend of simplicity and profundity. Rohn distilled the essence of leadership into practical principles that apply across industries and cultures. In this comprehensive exploration, we delve into Jim Rohn's insights to understand what makes a good leader, unpacking 11 core attributes he championed, illustrating how they interconnect, and offering guidance on how any individual can cultivate these traits to lead effectively in today's dynamic world. Why leadership matters. Before examining Rohn's principles, it is essential to appreciate why leadership matters. Good leadership accelerates progress. It aligns people around a shared vision, optimizes resources, fosters innovation, and builds resilience against change and adversity. Conversely, poor leadership can waste human potential, demoralize teams, and lead to stagnation or outright failure. In a global economy marked by rapid technological disruption, shifting demographics, and heightened competition, the demand for adept leaders has never been greater. Jim Rohn recognized that leadership is not an inherited birthright reserved for a select few. Instead, it is a set of learnable skills and habits grounded in personal character and continuous growth. 1. Vision and purpose. At the heart of Rohn's leadership philosophy is the concept of vision. A good leader must have clarity about where they, by extension their team, are headed. Vision provides direction, fuels motivation, serves as the North Star during turbulent times. Rohn advised leaders to craft a compelling vision that excites and engages, one that transcends mere profit goals to articulate a meaningful mission or higher purpose. Clarity over vagueness. Leaders must articulate specific objectives and outcomes. Rohn warned against nebulous goals, advocating instead for crisp statements like increase customer retention by 15% over the next 12 months. Rather than vague aspirations, such as grow the business, emotional resonance, beyond metrics. An effective vision taps into emotions, hope, passion, and belonging. Rohn explained that people commit to causes that resonate with their values and self-image. Communicating the vision. Crafting a vision is only half the battle. Leaders must communicate it compellingly and repeatedly. Storytelling, metaphors, and memorable slogans help embed the vision in the organizational culture by anchoring leadership. In vision, Rohn set the stage for all other leadership attributes. Vision without action stalls. But without vision, action lacks coherence too. Integrity and character. Rohn believed that integrity is non-negotiable. He asserted that leaders who compromise principles for short-term gain will ultimately lose credibility, trust, and the momentum of their teams. Character, for Rohn, encompassed honesty, fairness, and consistency between words and deeds. Walking the talk, actions speak louder than proclamations. When leaders exemplify the behaviors they expect, punctuality, accountability, respect, they establish a standard for the entire group. Fairness and transparency. Rohn emphasized that decisions should be made with fairness, communicated transparently, and justified rationally. This builds trust and reduces resistance. Moral courage. Leaders often face ethical dilemmas. Rohn highlighted the importance of moral courage, doing what is right even when it is difficult or unpopular. A foundation of integrity not only fosters trust, but also cultivates a culture where team members feel secure, valued, and motivated. 2. Give their best effort. 3. Commitment to personal development. Central to Jim Rohn's teachings is the axiom: work harder on yourself than you do on your job. He viewed personal development, expanding knowledge, upgrading skills, and nurturing a mindset as the engine of leadership growth. Leaders who stagnate personally cannot energize others. Reading and learning. Rohn famously recommended reading at least 30 pages a day of high-quality material, classics, biographies, and self-development. This continuous intake of ideas fuels innovation and insight. Mentorship and mastermind groups, surrounding oneself with mentors and like-minded peers, accelerates learning. Rohn advocated mastermind groups as forums for accountability, idea exchange, and mutual support. Self-reflection and feedback, regular self-assessment, and seeking candid feedback enable leaders to identify blind spots and growth areas. Rohn suggested journaling and honest conversations with trusted advisors. By committing to lifelong learning, leaders not only enhance their competence, but also model a growth mindset that cascades through their organizations. 4. Effective communication. Let others think they are speaking and make them feel that it is their idea. Rohn would remind leaders, underscoring that communication is more than the transmission of information. No, it is a nuanced art of influence. Good leaders listen actively, ask powerful questions, and adapt their messaging to different audiences. Active listening. Rohn stressed that listening carefully, paraphrasing, withholding judgment, and probing deeper builds rapport and uncovers underlying concerns. Clarity and conciseness. Leaders must present ideas clearly, avoiding jargon and unnecessary complexity. Rohn suggested focusing on the core message, move hearts and minds without overwhelming details. Nonverbal cues, posture, tone, eye contact, and facial expressions convey authenticity. Rohn highlighted the importance of aligning nonverbal signals with verbal messages to avoid mixed signals. Mastering communication equips leaders to articulate vision, resolve conflicts, negotiate effectively, and inspire collective action. 5. Emotional intelligence. Before emotional intelligence became a buzzword, Rohn intuitively recognized its importance. He taught leaders to manage their own emotions and to understand and empathize with the emotional states of others. Emotional intelligence enables leaders to navigate interpersonal dynamics with finesse. Self-awareness, recognizing one's emotional triggers, allows leaders to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Rohn recommended pausing, taking a breath, before addressing emotionally charged situations. Empathy and compassion. Leaders who seek to understand team members' perspectives and feelings foster psychological safety and loyalty. Rohn often recounted that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Regulation and resilience. Maintaining composure under stress. Reframing setbacks. And modeling optimism help teams stay grounded and motivated. Developing emotional intelligence transforms leadership from transactional, direction-giving to relational influence, ultimately driving higher engagement and performance. 6. Responsibility and accountability. A hallmark of Rohn's philosophy is the law of responsibility. Leaders must own outcomes, both successes and failures. Passing blame erodes credibility. Accepting responsibility empowers leaders to learn and improve systems. Owning mistakes. Rohn encouraged leaders to admit errors promptly, analyze root causes, and implement corrective actions. Builds trust and establishes a culture of candor, setting clear expectations. Accountability begins with clarity. Leaders must define roles, deliverables, and standards so team members know what they are responsible for. Measuring progress, regular check-ins, key performance indicators, transparent dashboards ensure everyone knows how they are tracking toward goals. By modeling responsibility, leaders create an environment where accountability is normalized. Mistakes become learning opportunities, and continuous improvement thrives. 7. Empowerment and delegation. Rohn recognized that a leader's impact multiplies, and they cultivate capacity in others. Delegation is not abdication. It is a strategic tool to empower capable team members, foster ownership, and scale organizational capability. Right task, right person. Effective delegation requires matching tasks to individuals' strengths and development goals. Rohn advised leaders to assess skills, interests, and growth areas. Clear authority and support. Assigning responsibility must come with the authority to make decisions. the resources and guidance to perform. Rohn highlighted the importance of setting boundaries while offering support. Follow up without micromanaging. Periodic check-ins ensure alignment while avoiding overbearing oversight. Rohn suggested the one-on-one meeting as a rhythm to connect and coach without stifling autonomy through empowerment. Leaders develop a pipeline of future leaders and unleash the full potential of their teams. 8. Decisiveness and courage. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, Rohn often remarked. But decisiveness is the bridge between vision and reality. Leaders face uncertainty and imperfect information, yet analysis paralysis breeds missed opportunities. Rohn advised embracing bold decisions paired with disciplined execution. Balancing analysis and action, gather sufficient data to make informed choices, then commit, avoiding the trap of endless deliberation. Risk management. Decisiveness doesn't mean recklessness. Rohn taught to identify potential downsides, mitigate them proactively, and proceed with calculated confidence.